Hey guys, okay, so I know a lot of that stuff you haven't done in a while, so I'm going to do a quick review on how it works, and then if you have any questions, well, let me know. Okay, so first topic we're going to talk about is domain and range. And domain and range, we're just going to review. So your domain is always going to be your X values, okay? And then your range is always going to be your Y values. Just a refresher, I know you've heard this so many times, but we're going to go through it. Okay, so if you have a set of numbers, so I'm going to make this up, 7, 5, 3, 4, -2, 1, and I don't know, 8, 0. All right, so if it asks you what the domain is, your domain is your X values, which are just 7, 3, -2, 8. So I'm going to write that down here. Okay, then if it asks for your range, you're going to look for your Y value. So your range, it's just 5, 4, 1, and 0. And that's it. That's all you're going to do for domain and range. If for any reason you see it in a different way, in a different set of numbers, it's still the same answers as long as it's in that order. Okay, another way domain and range can be found is if you have something that's called a mapping. Okay, and in a mapping, the left side is going to be domain, and the right side is going to be range. So the biggest thing you need to be able to realize is that when you use this, okay, you need to know that your left is range and your right is domain. And that's it. Okay. Another situation could be as a graph. When your graph, it's not the prettiest graph, but you get what I'm putting down, okay? If I put a point here and another point here, and let's say one over here, I'm going to say this is -3, that's a 1, and that's going to be 4, and I'm going to say this is +4, and this is -2. So I'm going to write my ordered pairs. This is going to be -3, 1, and we're going to write 1, 4. And lastly, we're going to write 4, -2. Okay, so when I write them down, my domain, okay, it's just when it's X values, so -3, 1, and 4. Lastly, for my range, I'm just going to look at my Y values. So in this case, it can be 1, 4, and -2. And those are your X and Y values. So this is all you really need to worry about for domain and range when it looks like this. I'm going to do a different example where you might get a little bit confused. Okay, so now we're going to go over the domain and range when it looks like this. So I'm going to do on the left side the domain, and then on the right side I'm going to do range. So for domain, the first thing you're going to write, you're going to write a line, an inequality, X, an inequality, and a line. So my domain is my X value. So I'm going to make a vertical line on each side. So it hits 1, so I'm going to write 1 right here. And it hits 3, so I'm going to write 3 right here. Now, this one is closed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a line right here. And that's it. I'm done. Okay, so now I'm going to do the right side. So the right side, I'm going to do range. So for my range, I'm going to put a line, a less than symbol, Y, and then I'm going to put less than, and a line. Okay, so then I'm now going to find my range. So now I'm going to go from the bottom, right down here, all the way to the top. Okay, so the lower button goes down here, and then on the top one I'm going to put 2. Now which one is closed? This one right here. So since that one is closed, I'm going to put a line right underneath. So from domain, it goes from the left, then your less than, and then your right value. For your range, you're going to go from the bottom, your less than symbol, and then the top value. Okay, one last thing to review. We're going to review function and not a function. Okay, so a function is when x does not repeat and when it passes the vertical line test. All right. Then not a function, okay? X will repeat and it will not pass the vertical line test. Okay, so let me give you an example of where it is and where it isn't. I'm going to put those definitions on the side. And for a function, if I have a set of tables, okay, I'm going to put x and y. All of these numbers on the left are going to be different. So since every single number on my axis is different, this is a function. Versus, if it's not a function, something will be repeated. Since something is not here, this is not a function. Another way you can do it is as in a graph. So, for a function, let me give you an example. Like so. I draw a quadratic, and I draw a line through all of them. It only hits one point. So it is a function. Versus if it's not a function, if I draw some scribble line right like this, okay? If I draw a vertical line, it's hitting here, here, and here. So that's going to be not a function. All right, well, this is pretty much everything you need for that worksheet. Good luck.